This is a quick brain dump video. I'm working on some prototypes for a workshop with the University of Edinburgh to do adding machines out of Lego. I've built a lot of prototypes and I'm actually at the point where I've run out of Lego bricks, so I need to document what I've got before I go ahead and make the final pieces. So the simplest way you can make an adding machine with Lego is using a diff, and this is where you encode the numbers as rotation, and a differential gear will take the average of two rotations if you use use it as input. So here we've got two inputs going into a differential. These are marked off 0 to 9, and if I rotate that, say, by 3 and 4, the output here reads 7. So the inputs here are 0 to 9, but the output here is 0 to 19, because the differential is taking the average, so that's like input 1 and input 2 added divided by 2. This scale here is multiplied by 2, so that's effectively A plus B giving the output. So you can use it in reverse by calculating subtraction. If I say what's 8 minus 3, that gives me 5. Now the problem with this is there's lots of play in the gears, so the more you rotate it, the more the little kind of bits of movement in the gears, the little bit of slack is playing against it, but you've got to work with that. It's only Lego. Other ways of working with differentials, this is a planetary gear setup. Now in Lego you can get these turntables that have an inside gear, so what you can do is do a planetary setup with 3 little miniature gears on the inside there, using one input to turn the thing that's holding those gears and the other thing to actually turn the main thing that's being turned from the output. So I might do a bit more of a breakdown of this later. There's 2 gears on this to make it all sort of all the maths work out. This is a 3 to 1 and this is a 3 to 4. So now if I turn this one a quarter, that goes a quarter. If I turn that a quarter on that side, that goes a quarter. Turn them both, it goes around by 1. So that's a really nice robust adding mechanism, and it's quite nice to see planetary gears in motion. It's all tucked in there, so it's a bit hard to see, but it's a really nice setup. I might break down that one later. That's all the ones that are gear based. I'm going to do a separate video for ones that are spring based, but I thought I'd just show some of the work I've been doing on indicators. So for this is going from 0 to 9. I wanted to do something that did larger numbers, so I did some experiments on having like a tens and units readout. So this is a gear ratio that multiplies by 10, so I can say, right, that's 0, and if I rotate that round, that's 5, go all the way around. Now this is on 1, so that's 10, and you can use it as a fast selection thing, so that's like 22, 43. It's a bit tricky though, because you get to numbers like, you know, what, 42, that looks like 42, but then you rotate the way around, it kind of looks more like that's 59. It's a bit hard to read. As long as you know what you're doing, it's fine. I thought I'd work on that, extend it further, so I simplified the gears, made them a bit smaller. That was the second incarnation, and then finally I tied it up into this, so you can actually read them side by side. So the idea is to take 3 of those and attach each to the inputs and outputs on that, and that'll give me a nice mechanical adding machine. But one final thing is, whilst on the gears, I thought I'd try and explore the motion in a differential gear, because I've always found it hard to understand this concept of turning frames, what it means when the frame of reference is turning, how it's dividing by 2. So I built this one out of regular Lego, but it's hinged, so you can take that off, open it up, and that gives a really nice feeling for what's happening as you change a frame of reference. So when it's opened up, you kind of have to look at these really weird motions, but I don't know, might take that a bit further. It's a good idea, I think, to explore differentials.